Local 10.
This is World News Tonight. All-time high. The market soaring higher than ever before in American history. Will it last? And will the winners use their profits to create jobs? Breaking news, Hugo Chavez, the strongman of Venezuela, has died. The unpredictable, provocative adversary of the U.S. So what does this mean for America and all that Venezuelan oil? Knives on a plane? A surprise announcement dramatically changing what travelers can carry on board, and why flight attendants are fighting mad about it tonight. And real money, one drug, very different prices right in your neighborhood. See how we help a family save thousands of dollars on prescription drugs, and a new simple trick that can save you real money too.
From ABC News, World Headquarters, this is ABC World News with Diane Sawyer.
Good evening. On this, a day for the history books. The stock market on a rocket ride, blasting through a ceiling and closing at an all-time high. And this was the scene on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Big smiles. Compare that to the dark days of the recession. This trader in despair, shock in hands. His head in hands. So how can we trust this stock market bounce this time? And will it bring more American jobs? ABC's Lindsay Janis, who has covered financial markets for years, tells us.
Cheers of joy and relief on the trading floor.
Is this good times ahead?
Well, right now it is a time to celebrate.
A long way from that previous high back in October 2007. The recession began just 2 months later. Now Wall Street is booming again.
I love the buzz that this has created, because this is telling the Main Street investors something that I've been trying to explain for over a year, that the stock market is a place you need to have your money.
The big winners, America's largest companies, now sitting on a collective cash pile of more than $1 trillion. Those Wall Street titans seeing the biggest bonuses in years. And the modern American family's 401k nest egg bigger than ever before. From an average balance of $67,500 in 2007 to $46,200 at the depths of the market in 2009. And now higher than ever, $77,300 and climbing. But when it comes to jobs, many Americans are getting left behind. There are 2.2% fewer jobs today than back in 2007. 12.3 million Americans are still out of work. So if American businesses are flourishing, why aren't they hiring? We called the leaders of some of America's most profitable companies and asked them why they aren't spending some of their cash hiring even more workers.
Hello, this is Lindsay Janis calling from ABC News.
Those that got back to us stressed they were hiring. Still, experts tell us companies are working leaner, outsourcing jobs to countries with cheap labor and using technology to replace factory workers.
Increasingly, manufacturing is going to be a matter of computer programming, software, and robots.
That's why experts say math and science degrees are golden these days, and that stock is only going up.
Diane, the people we spoke to today say they've learned to take nothing for granted. All the traders we spoke to mentioned three things they're watching: the Chinese economy, the European recession, and most of all, that gridlock in Washington.
All right, Lindsay, thanks so much. And a reminder that the unemployment report does come out this Friday, a brand new one. And now we turn to havoc in the heartland from that snowmaker on the move tonight. And this is no ordinary storm. The snow is wet, heavy, and dangerous. ABC's Alex Perez is in Chicago tonight in it.
Well, Diane, the snow has been piling up here. We've had a mild winter, so many thought we were in the clear until this storm.
The mammoth storm is hammering the Midwest tonight. In Minnesota alone, more than 120 car crashes. In Wisconsin, a truck driver killed. His semi plunged off an icy bridge. This car wheels up on a lake, and the storm's target tonight, Chicago, where plows are trying to keep up and keep roadways clear of ice. The colossal storm also creating headaches at the airports. More than 1,300 flights canceled across the country, 1,140 of them at Chicago's 2 airports alone. And tomorrow looks no better. More than 1,100 flights canceled already. But this slushy, snowy deluge is a welcome sight to some.
Welcome to my world, Alex.
No kidding. Thanks for having me. So, busy day, huh?
Yeah.
Like snow removal driver Tim Gibbons, whose business has been suffering from a snow drought.
This storm was key at this moment when it came for your business.
Yeah, this was very well timed help to our season and the revenues and the earnings for our employees.
And as the storm barrels east, there are concerns about flooding and high winds on a coastline already battered and broken by Superstorm Sandy. Places like Washington, D.C. could get up to a foot of snow. They're stocking up.
And this storm is dumping what's called heart attack snow. It sends some 700 people to emergency rooms every year. It's heavier and weighs twice as much as that lighter, fluffier stuff. Just one of the many problems this storm is dumping across several states tonight. Diane?
All right, Alex, like lifting heavy weights at the gym. Our thanks to you. And a big change to tell you about tonight, about to take place for American travelers heading towards security at the airport. For the first time since 9/11, the TSA is allowing some knives on board. An announcement greeted with confusion and outrage by flight attendants. ABC's David Curley has our story.
The things people try to carry on a plane may boggle your mind. But tonight, after more than a decade of confiscating tens of millions of pocket knives, the TSA says it's time for a change. You can now carry a small knife on board.
We know that these small little items are unlikely to be used again to try and hijack an aircraft.
In a month and a half, you'll be allowed to carry a folding knife if the blade is less than 2.36 inches long and a half-inch wide. Golfers will be able to carry on 2 clubs, and hockey, lacrosse, and pool players can board with their sticks. Razor blades and box cutters, like those used by the hijackers on 9/11, will still be banned. Not every flight has an air marshal on board who is trained to deal with knife-wielding passengers.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Which is why the flight attendants are angry tonight, saying they and their passengers will now be at risk.
Having knives on board is a horrible decision, and we're incredibly disappointed in the TSA for allowing weapons on board an aircraft.
TSA says the change will allow officers to concentrate on more serious threats. Explosives. They find some of those. Everything from mortar rounds to fuses. And guns. Every day, 4 guns are found at U.S. checkpoints, and on average, 3 of them are loaded. Diane, every month at each of our 20 biggest airports, they collect about 850 pounds of confiscated goods. About half of that, more than 400 pounds, are these small knives and other larger knives as well. They hope these changes will help these lines move a little quicker. Diane.
All right, David Curley, thank you. And we have another change from Washington tonight, sure to provoke a big reaction. It is day 2 after the big budget cuts, and the White House says they are going to save money by canceling White House tours.
We regret to inform that White House tours will be canceled effective Saturday, March 9th, 2013, until further notice.
The White House says they no longer have the staff to supervise the tours, just as spring break with its tidal wave of tourists draws near. So let us know what you think, and we will stay on this story. And we head overseas now. Secretary of State John Kerry on his first trip overseas tonight, and it is taking him straight into the lion's den. ABC's chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz is with him. Martha.
Good evening, Diane. In almost every hotspot around the globe tonight, there is uncertainty and urgency. This is the world the new Secretary of State is running into head-on. In North Korea today, a wild and dangerous threat to cancel the 60-year-old ceasefire that has held the peace since the Korean War.
Our preference is not to brandish threats at each other.
The problems to the West in Iran even more urgent, with Kerry conceding to ABC News today they are closer to getting a nuclear weapon than ever. Then there are the risks in nearby Syria, with 70,000 dead and nearly 1 million refugees.
Would you rule out giving lethal aid?
Let me just finish. The point is that there is a holistic, united effort now that is focused on trying to save lives in Syria and make it clear to President Assad that we are determined.
4 years ago, this was Hillary Clinton on her first trip overseas. Huge receptions, a buzz in the air. Today, for Kerry, it is very different. The buzz and the crowds replaced with the sober reality. that the intractable threats facing America have never been more real. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Qatar.
And also tonight overseas, the provocative and unpredictable strongman of Venezuela has died. The streets are filled with mourners. Hugo Chavez. He controlled more oil reserves than Saudi Arabia. So what does this mean? Is it a new day for the U.S.? And ABC's Matt Gutman reports in.
Being the leader of a failed military.
Many Americans viewed him as a dictator, infamous for jousting with President George W. Bush.
You are a donkey, Mr. Bush.
But in Venezuela, Hugo Chavez was a charismatic hero, wearing that trademark red shirt, running the country with the world's biggest oil reserves, the fourth biggest exporter of oil to the U.S. But Chavez grew up poor, and after winning his first of 4 presidential elections, he publicly called for the redistribution of the country's oil wealth to Venezuela's poor. He exported his brand of socialism. His protégés include 3 other Latin American leaders. And he embraced some of the world's most notable tyrants, Muammar Gaddafi and Bashar al-Assad. Fidel Castro was his close friend and mentor. He made political sport of attacking U.S. policies, and President Bush was one of his favorite foils.
Yesterday, the devil came here. Right here. And it smells of sulfur still today.
In 2007, Barbara Walters asked what his message would be to the American people.
We, Venezuelan people, love you. I want to be your brothers, a great leader of you. Martin Luther King is my leader. His dream is your dream. It's our dream. It's my dream.
Ambitious and defiant to the end. The question tonight is, who will follow the most dominant Latin American leader of his generation? Matt Gutman, ABC News, Miami.
And still ahead here on World News, one prescription drug, very different prices, and right in your neighborhood.
$15, $21.59, $147.99.
We're going to tell you a simple way to save a lot of money on drugs tonight. Real money next.
ABC World News with Diane Sawyer, brought to you by Listerine.
It's surprising what your mouth goes through in a day. But what's even more surprising is that brushing alone isn't enough to keep it clean. Fortunately, you've got Listerine. Unlike brushing, which misses 75% of your mouth, Listerine cleans virtually your entire mouth. So what are you waiting for? It's time to take your mouth to a whole new level of health. Listerine, power to your mouth. And take the Listerine 21-Day Challenge. Feel the difference or your money back.
Hi, I'm Terry, and I have diabetic nerve pain. I worked at a patrol unit for 17 years in the city of Baltimore. When I first started experiencing the pain, it's hard to describe because you have a numbness, but yet you have the pain like thousands of needles sticking in your foot. It was progressively getting worse, and at that point I knew I had to do something. When I went back to my healthcare professional, that's when she suggested the Lyrica. Once I started taking the Lyrica, the pain started subsiding.
It's known that diabetes damages nerves. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is not for everyone. It may cause serious allergic reactions or suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these. New or worsening depression or unusual changes in mood or behavior, or swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, changes in eyesight including blurry vision, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or skin sores from diabetes. Common side effects are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who have had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica. Ask your doctor about Lyrica today. It's specific treatment for diabetic nerve pain. To hear more of Terry's story, visit Lyrica.com.
Okay, here's the way the system works. Let's say you pay your guy around 2% to manage your money. That's not much, you think, except it's 2% every year. Does that make a difference? Search cost of financial advisors. Ouch! Over time, it really adds up. Then go to E-Trade and find out how much our advice costs. Spoiler alert, it's low. Really? Yes, really. E-Trade offers investment advice and guidance from dedicated professional financial consultants. It's guidance on your terms, not ours. That's how our system works. E-Trade. Less for us, more for you.
My wife takes Centrum Silver. I've been on the fence about it.
Then I read an article about a study that looked at the long-term health benefits of taking multivitamins. They used Centrum Silver for the study, so I guess my wife was right.
Centrum, always your most complete.
Tonight, World News is back putting cash in your pocket. We saved one family thousands of dollars on prescription drugs. And tonight, another simple way to save money while sitting on your sofa. ABC's Paula Ferris with Real Money.
Remember Carrie and Andrew from Lake Worth, Florida? Together with healthcare advocate Michelle Katz, we negotiated with their pharmacy and drug company and cut their yearly bill by thousands of dollars.
Did you think that this would be possible?
No.
But so many of you had questions about another one of Michelle's tips, finding better deals on your drugs by old-fashioned shopping around. So we visited Doug Hirsch, CEO of California-based GoodRx.
Americans are paying too much for their prescription drugs until now.
His company shows you the best deals around your town. Here's how it works. All you do is type in your drug, your location, and it'll find the best price. For extra savings, show them your smartphone coupon or print it from their free website. GoodRx even tells you the pharmacy's numbers and shows you how to get there.
I am not tech savvy, and I think this is really easy.
They claim they can save between 20 to 80% on the same drug. We checked, and it worked for Linda Bezdek, a retiree from California. And we discovered something else in the process when we called pharmacies around town, wildly different prices for the same drug.
I just need to get a quote for 40 milligrams of Lipitor, $21.59, $149.99, $147.99. That's shocking. So far we've called 4 pharmacies. For the generic or Lipitor, we've received quotes of $15, $21.59, $149.99, and $147.99. Yep. That's for the generic.
And nobody questions it. We found out that's because those prices depend on the individual pharmacy's deal with each drug supplier. The FDA monitors the product, not the price.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
So in many cases, pharmacies can charge whatever they want. It's up to us to shop around. Linda did that and nearly cut her bills in half, saving $2,280.
That's real money. And one more thing, keep an eye out when your drug goes generic. That can save you a significant amount of money. And there are some very popular drugs going generic in the next 18 months, Diane. We're going to have a full list on our website.
But just to say it again, the exact same drug and that huge difference in price right in your neighborhood.
Same dosage. All of those pharmacies we called were within close proximity of one another, within walking distance.
It is really eye-opening. Thank you, Paula. And you should know that the health advocate, Michelle Katz, is on Twitter now and ready to take your questions. So tweet them to her using the Real Money hashtag. And coming up here, do you know who makes the longest daily commutes in America? All those miles? Find out in our Instant Index.
Won the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes.
Whoa! Yes! Yes! This is fantastic!
Hey! Thank you!
I'm in shock.
Let's celebrate. Are you serious?
Watch your mail for the Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes or go to PCH.com and enter. This April 30th, you can win $1 million every year for life.
Want to lose denture paste ooze?
I do. It's yucky.
But dewy.
It makes me gag.
Cebon wafers hold clean with no ooze.
Neat.
Cebon, lose the ooze.
Did anyone ever tell you have a nice smile?
So, you say men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Then how do I get this?
Safe driving bonus check. Every 6 months without an accident, Allstate sends a check. Okay. Silence. Are you in good hands?
She's still the one for you. You know it even after all these years. But your erectile dysfunction, you know that could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
If I could get everybody's attention, if you would join me in a moment of silence to honor the 577,000 Americans who died of cancer this year. You know, actually, silence is the last thing that we need. We need to join the American Cancer Society in their most aggressive assault on cancer yet. 2 out of 3 people are surviving cancer. We shouldn't be silent until that's 3 out of 3. Let's make some noise. Come on. Let's finish this fight.
Our Instant Index tonight starts with a big change for fans of The Daily Show. Jon Stewart, pay attention. The king of what he calls fake news is taking the summer off to direct his first film. It will be about a BBC journalist held hostage in Iran, and Stewart says his new venture is, quote, a little scary. Daily Show correspondent John Oliver will fill in. And our number tonight is 600,000. That's how many of us are so-called mega commuters. According to the Census Bureau, we travel at least an hour and a half and 50 miles each way to work. And the new data out today describe the average mega commuter as a man who leaves for work before 6 a.m., earns slightly more than the national average, and has a spouse who stays at home. And do you remember when the 2 rock legends, McCartney and Springsteen, had to improvise because the police cut the power at the giant concert in London last year? Well, there they were, and today we got word of a do-over. The Boss is going back. Bruce and his E Street Band will headline the music festival this year and finish what they were playing when they pulled the plug. Everyone wondering if Sir Paul will come back for another try, too. And coming up next here, our own Robin Roberts brings us great lessons from one of her mentors, a game-changing coach for your life.
Looking for a better place to put your cash? Here's one you may not have thought of: Fidelity. Now you don't have to go to a bank to get the things you want from a bank, like no-fee ATMs all over the world. Free check writing and mobile deposits. Now depositing a check is as easy as taking a picture. Free online bill payments. A highly acclaimed credit card with 2% cash back into your Fidelity account. Open a Fidelity cash management account today and discover another reason serious investors are choosing Fidelity.
Nexium, the purple pill, helps provide many with day and night relief of heartburn symptoms caused by acid reflux disease. There is risk of bone fracture and low magnesium levels. Side effects may include headache, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. Call your doctor right away if you have persistent diarrhea. Other serious stomach conditions may exist. Don't take Nexium if you take clopidogrel. Ask your doctor if Nexium is right for you. Find out how you may be able to get Nexium for just $18 a month at purplepill.com.
Dentures are very different to real teeth. They're about 10 times softer and may have surface pores where bacteria can multiply. Polident kills 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria and helps dissolve stains. So dentures are cleaner, fresher, and brighter.
Polident.
My insurance rates are probably going to double.
But Dad, you've got...
Allstate. With accident forgiveness, they guarantee your rates won't go up just because of an accident.
Smart kid.
Indeed. Are you in good hands?
I have low testosterone. There, I said it. How did I know? Well, I didn't really. See, I figured low testosterone would decrease my sex drive, but when I started losing energy and became moody, that's when I had an honest conversation with my doctor. We discussed all the symptoms, then he gave me some blood tests. Showed it was low T. That's it. It was a number. not just me.
Today, men with low T have Androgel 1.62% testosterone gel, the #1 prescribed topical testosterone replacement therapy. Increases testosterone when used daily. Women and children should avoid contact with application sites. Discontinue Androgel and call your doctor if you see unexpected signs of early puberty in a child or signs in a woman, which may include changes in body hair or a large increase in acne, possibly due to accidental exposure. Men with breast cancer or who have or might have prostate cancer, and women who are or may become pregnant or are breastfeeding should not use Androgel. Serious side effects include worsening of an enlarged prostate, possible increased risk of prostate cancer, lower sperm count, swelling of ankles, feet, or body, enlarged or painful breasts, problems breathing during sleep, and blood clots in the legs. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and medications, especially insulin, corticosteroids, or medicines to decrease blood clotting.
So, what do men do when a number's too low? Turn it up.
In a clinical study, over 80% of treated men had their T levels restored to normal. Talk to your doctor about all your symptoms. Get the blood tests. Change your number. Turn it up. Androgel 1.62%.
The furious, massive storm rolls across the Midwest.
It is a long line of who gets snow and plenty of snow.
And now it's barreling toward the Northeast. So what can you expect where you are? Turn to Sam Champion and the GMA Extreme Weather Team for special live reports on Good Morning America.
And finally tonight, if you happen to meet a basketball champion, there's a good chance they can quote the advice of the winningest coach in all of college hoops, Pat Summitt. For instance, her reminder, when you're ever in trouble, think left foot, right foot, breathe, and go forward. She also says, when you ask yourself, do I deserve to succeed, make sure that answer is yes. And now that Summitt herself is facing tough times, she sits down with someone who learned a lot from her, her friend and protege, our own Robin Roberts.
Pat Summitt hugs all around on the tennis. She is the champion of making young women believe in themselves.
I don't know about y'all, but I want to win a national championship.
You could string together around the globe all the grateful athletes from her 38-year coaching career, proud of themselves tonight because of her. Pat Summitt,
Robin.
recalling faces and stories from her past.
She was a piece of work.
Something her doctors and family quietly take note of, because the progression of the incurable disease is marked cruelly by how much your life disappears from memory.
Those trophies look pretty good.
She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 2 years ago, telling me then what triggered a visit to the doctor.
I'd wake up in the morning and, you know, I'd think, where am I?
And so Pat decided to step aside as coach.
I knew what I was dealing with, you know, the onset dementia. And, you know, that was hard at first.
You wrote early on in the book, have you ever walked along a shoreline only to have your footprints washed away by the surf? That's what Alzheimer's is like. The waves steadily erase the marks we leave in the sand, all the sand castles. I know you get asked this a lot, Pat. How does it feel to have Alzheimer's?
You know, I just I get a game plan, go into practice, and as time went on, you know, I thought, I can do this. I can do this.
Do this, she says, and do it here, on these familiar sidelines where she still shows up to let her beloved Lady Vols know she is there, watching, cheering.
You know, just staying alive.
And Summitt's son once said of her and all the medical tests, they didn't test her for leadership. We thank you for watching tonight. We're always working for you at abcnews.com. Nightline will be here later at its new time, 12:35 a.m. Eastern. And I'll see you right back here again tomorrow night. Have a great night.
More Americans choose ABC News to see the whole picture.
It's all about the taste.
TV's sizzling new hit, ABC Tonight.
The case that will shatter her beliefs.
Something killed that girl.
Body and Proof, all new tonight on ABC.
Thanks to fuel perks from Winn-Dixie, grocery shopping just went from boring to... bonus! Because with bonus items, your Fuel Perks will save you even more on gas. Each item is worth from 5 to 50 cents off every gallon.
Bonus!
And with hundreds of new bonus items all over the store, your gas savings will add up faster and easier than ever.
Bonus!
Come into Winn-Dixie or go online to find out more.
Bonus!
Where will your heart lead you?
To my son's first college football game.
To more time on the water.
To more walks with my neighbor.
To more visits with my grandma.
Follow your heart to the team who performs the most cardiac procedures in Broward. Know your risks. Follow your heart to memorialcardiac.com/heart.
New at 11, a brief warm-up today, but we're not done with the cold yet.